Every time I hear you cry, breaks my heart in two. Every time I hear you cry, breaks my heart in two. There's no reason on this earth we can't get along, you and me. There's no reason between us we can make it work. I know there's love so hard to handle. Every time I see you laugh, turn my head around. Every time I hear you laugh, makes me feel so good. And I know something real going on with you and me. 'Cause I know we can make it work on common ground. 'Cause the love we make, the love we share can't be cheap. It can't be cheap. Yes, the love we make and the love we share, often not so dearly. Every time I hear you cry, breaks my heart in two. Every time I hear you cry, breaks me up inside. Because love, because love, because love. Courting us so dearly, because love, the only thing we have. And it makes it hard to gamble. Every time I hear you cry, it breaks my heart in two. There's no reason to deny, 'cause I'm so in love with you. Because love is a very precious thing. Because love is the only thing we have, you and me. And it makes it hard to handle. Because love, because love, because love, because love. Thank you. I come from emotional people. Needless to say, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of that. I like being in touch with my feelings. My cousin showed up yesterday and we cried at least 3 times about nothing. Just looking at each other because we hadn't seen each other in a while. And when we touched on familiar ground of any kind, a grandmother or I don't know, anything, we burst into tears of joy. Then there's the other side of human beings, right? The things that the world brings out in us. I always thought that inside I was still a child, and that the persona, or what we call personality that we develop in life, is really to combat the world around us or survive the world around us. And that it has little or nothing to do sometimes with who's really on the inside, still alive and well, you know, the child. Through the jungles of life, I carried a sharp knife, cut through the bullshit I have known, walked the streets, and the faces that I meet tell me, stand alone. I'm a beast of burden, pulling my weight, dragging behind me all my chain. I'm a beast of burden all my life, mending the things I cannot change. Mending the things I cannot change. Mending the things I cannot change. All the nightmares that I dream and the mindscapes I have seen, monsters smiling as they pray, I pass the timeless breach and keep them short of reach. They might cross another day. I'm a beast of burden all my life, pushing my time behind me. I'm a beast of burden all my life, mending the things I cannot change. I'm mending the things I cannot change. If you see me floating by, lend me a glancing eye. Demonstrate everything you feel. I'll bring you down to the dark, down to the deep. Make it impossible to sleep. I'm a beast of burden, pushing my time, dragging behind me all my pain. I'm a beast of burden all my life, mending the things I cannot change. Mending the things I cannot change. Mending the things I cannot change. The jungles of life, I carried a sharp knife, cut through the bullshit I have known, walked the streets and faces I meet tell me I stand alone. I'm a beast of burden, pulling my weight, dragging behind me all my chains. I'm a beast of burden all my life, mending the things I cannot change, mending the things I cannot change, mending the things I cannot change, cannot change. Thank you. Guitar is my friend. It's everywhere in my house. I can't escape it. I get up some mornings before I put clothes on, and I go downstairs and I play. And my wife comes downstairs and finds me. And fortunately, she's a writer, so she folds into the computer, and I see her little feet sticking out of the screen a little bit. My wife has written 11 books. She's had 7 published. She speaks 6 languages. This is her first year with English, and I'm already terrified of her vocabulary. I lie to her and I say, we don't really use that word a lot. And then I run in the other room and I Google it. Don't tell her. Grazie, figlio mio. Thank you for the water. My son is my perfect son. I don't mean he's a perfect human being, but for me, I could not design a human who I would feel so proud and so much in love with. And he's too damn smart. I do miss holding that chubby little body, though. He's outgrown me now. You know, I used to like. I traveled a lot for much of my life. I was a photographer. I did very well for myself. And it took me a while before I started to realize that when you travel, at least for me, it wasn't the big obvious things like here I am in front of the Coliseum, that kind of stuff. That doesn't stay with you at all. Weird little moments, little patches of moments, like you're in the high-speed train in Japan and you're worried because up ahead is a typhoon and you're going to be doing 100 miles an hour through the typhoon, and before the train starts to move, you look out the window and there's a little boy with his family who have their little backpacks and their knee socks, matching outfits, their little beanie hats. They're going to go hiking. And the little boy makes eye contact with me as the train moves. I remember that moment more than standing in front of Mount Fuji. So life is really, in my opinion, this mosaic of strange little awkward moments. Even hearing words from other people's conversations that bleed onto your table, and you're impressed by them and they change you in some way. You know, like that particle thing again, the subparticle thing, where they know the particles are all over the place, right? The reason I say that is that, again, when relationships fall apart, we have a strange, like a broken image that we keep with us. Little pieces. People behind you. I'm sure they find you handsome enough to stare at for a few moments, but after that, the interest would have waned a little bit. We were standing so far apart under the cold dark sky, all the love falling from my heart, no more twinkle in your eye. Looked up to see the stars, all the truth came pouring down. You had just broken my heart with your angel eyes, angel eyes. What have you done to me, angel eyes? What have you done to me? Broken all my hopes and dreams with all your fancy scheming. Broke me up and you hurt me so with those angel eyes, angel eyes. What have you done to me, angel eyes? What have you done to me? I know that life can have distraction. I know that everybody falls sometimes. I can see through all your explanations that have fooled my love, leaving me so small. Let the sky fill my soul, put me down, control. You're so small when you look at it all from under the stars, angel eyes. What have you done to me, angel eyes? What have you done to me? Standing so far apart under the cold dark sky, all the love falling from my heart, no more twinkle in your eye. Looked up to see the stars, all the truth came pouring down. Just broke in my heart with those angel eyes, angel eyes. What have you done to me, angel eyes? What have you done to me? Thank you, from a 20-year-old memory. Life is good, even when it's bad, it's good. I believe that. I think that we can't take ourselves too seriously. Take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. That's what I think. You know, under the stars, we're little grains of nothingness, so. I want to thank Scott for correcting my sound. once again making me almost sound human. I was walking down the street, saw something sweet, said, come over baby, I think we can be, come on over, have some fun. Yeah, yeah, come over baby, I think you might be one. Cause I like the way you wiggle when you walk. I like the way you wiggle when you walk. Now that's really primate, isn't it? But to this day, I still have never been prompted, no matter how intelligent a woman has turned out to be. I can never remember saying to a woman, I've been studying you from across the room, and your brain amazes me. There is something primate about what attracts us. There's something basic, rudimentary, organic, physiological. Whoever's attracted to whoever. I mean, we're all here to love somebody. I don't care who you love. As long as you love somebody, that'd be great. And whatever attracts you to them is probably pretty strange in some ways. Like when I was single, which I'm not, and I'm no longer in that market, but I remember being attracted to women's wrists and necks and toes, that you'd find people that were anatomically so superior to yourself in some way, like people with long necks, right? I mean, I was a little boy and I went to the Museum of Art at RISD and saw for the first time Queen Nefertiti. I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe the incredible beauty of this wonderful African creature. I looked at her and I said, I couldn't shake it. I was so amazed by it. The art teacher noted it and brought me in a photograph. On Monday, I had my own picture of Queen Nefertiti. I look back in my life and the women that I had been attracted to, and I didn't do it consciously that I thought of, many of them had those features. So that I was so impressed at a tender age. It's interesting what impresses us in life, all of us in every way. Not necessarily Queen Nefertiti. I think that's pretty docile on the bigger scope of things. And what kids have to cope with today in terms of what they're shown and what they have to deal with is a little bit less, what's the word, naive or delicate in some ways. But it's still the same, that something will press the right button in the right place in someone's emotions or mind or wiring, and they'll say, this is someone I want to know. I like their voice. I've been attracted to people's voices. I have no trouble saying that guy's really handsome. I don't have any problems with that. I have no problems looking at a good-looking couple. I'm so in love with the fact that my friend Lorraine has found this wonderful man that she's married to, and they look alike. I'm so impressed with that. He's not there now. I scared him away with the comment. When he comes back, you look and make up your own mind. But I kept seeing them online, and I kept saying, my God, they look alike. Now, there's a lot of research on that they say people tend to be attracted, not always, but they tend to be attracted to people who kind of remind them of themselves. But I look nothing like Queen Nefertiti. Not on my best day. There was no point being made there, by the way. But I am glad to see that a certain number of you belong to an organization that I have fathered in America. It's called hats. Wear them. For any reason. For no reason. Wear them. All right, so back to this. How am I doing? I wanted the challenge of being out here without anyone else and doing only original material and telling stories and kind of being naked, as it were, because that was the earlier discussion, that poets are vulnerable when they're on a stage. See, he stopped. He heard it. You see him stop and spin around? He heard the word poet. It was like a nervous jolt. That musicians are vulnerable. And when we do our own music, we're double vulnerable than when we're doing somebody else's music. Because if the song doesn't fly, we feel like we've really done something horrible to people. So, time was when you could sit in a bar room and there would be so much smoke that it would look like a mystery movie going on. How many people remember that? Good portion of us. And if you were there long enough and you were indulging, and I don't mean falling off your bar stool. We've all done some of that too, I'm sure. But if you're there and you're having a few drinks and you have a moment to yourself and you look around, the music's playing, as the night goes on, some people look overtly happier. Whether they are or not, that's another topic. But they're dancing or they're carrying on, they're hooking up or whatever. But somewhere in the crowd, I would find someone, male, female, young, old, didn't matter. You could tell they weren't on top of their game, that they were struggling with something. And whether they were self-medicating or trying to lose themselves or whatever, you'd look across this room, and it's probably the basis for what... are you going to punch me in the nose?
No.
Oh, all right. That was such a New York walk. You missed my whole conversation about New York women. When I was young, and I went to New York, it's not the same story over again. But there was such a decidedly different walking pattern of the women of New York. The way they walked down the sidewalk, they commanded it. They were so matter of fact, man. It looked like if you got in their way, they were gonna spike heel you up the front and down the back. And I was very impressed with that image as a young man. They didn't make those in Rhode Island at that time. Maybe a few, but not. That was a whole different thing. Watching dancers, gentle movements, they step lightly across the floor. And I remember time we had weren't so bad, but now they're gone. All the time mixed together in my memory seems to fade out of focus. Where has it gone? Dancers sway cheek to cheek, to and fro. I dream of yesterday, and I know I sit restless in a cheap cafe. I don't worry about the day that I know that you're still gone. Dancers stop and kiss and they smile. sit restless in a cheap cafe. I don't worry about today, 'cause I know that you're still gone. Watching dancers, gentle movements, they step lightly across the floor. And I remember time we had weren't so bad, but now they're gone. Thank you. That, of course, for those people who've been around a little bit longer, know the beat of the two-step, and some of you were fighting the urge not to leave your seat and start waltzing around the air. It's true. It's a two-step. And country western. I was breastfed on old-style country western music, and I'm proud of it. And then I became a beatnik early in life and got very involved in my taste for jazz. I don't play any jazz. I just liked it. I just thought it sounded right. It kind of climbed inside me when I heard it. And then got more involved in folk and blues. And blues consumed me because it most resembled all the other things in my life, I think. And I don't know what the world would be without music. In fact, I'm convinced and most certain that music is the only language we have. Everything else is a dream. It's some kind of a illusion we try to operate with words. But music runs the gamut across the globe. You can play any music to any baby, and any baby will dance to music and try to sing, even if they don't know the words. From that point on, they learn the language and they can argue with each other. But it's about what we get. My name is Papa Angelo. My real name, if I would really mean, would ask you to all say it, Angelo Marinosci Jr., which is a big handle, isn't it? I was alone in my mind, wasting all my precious time before you. Wasting all my precious time before you. I was looking in the wrong way. For you, I was alone in my thinking, all alone, twice as much alone. Before you, before you, before you, there was nothing I could do for you. And I caught my own reflection in my mind. You echoed clearly, leave me behind, far away. I was nothing but myself. I was only shadow boxing, boxing, boxing before you. Nothing left to do before you. in my mind for wasting all my precious time before you. I was looking in the wrong way, thinking I would find a happy day before you. Before you. Before you. There's nothing I could do. I love this place. It's been good to me. I've made good friends here. I have a friend in the back that is, I keep saying it, he's the poet of poets locally. He's spoken word, a genius with spoken word. And we met here. We were both doing an open mic. I was finishing up the night. I think I was the last performer, and everybody was putting their toys away. And he got up to the mic, and as he began to speak, the room was filled with dead silence, and everybody was frozen in time. And he gave us a rendition of a poem called The Rain, which I hope one day you're fortunate enough to hear him do. There have been occasions where I have invited him to my openings or my parties at home and whatnot. I'm not going to do that to him today because I've done it to him often where I just say, come up here now and let me shake the shit out of you. Excuse my language. But I value our friendship and our brotherhood between us more than I can put into words. We have a deep love and respect for one another. And when you have an opportunity to hear Chris Johnson perform, please do that. Because I promise you, he will make you stand still too. So I want to give a round of applause to my friend. And thank you for coming today. Been a long, long time in this lifetime of mine. Long, long time to bring it home. Been a long, long time in this lifetime of mine. A long, long time before the dawn. Bring it better now. Bring it better now. Love me better now. Loving me too long. Loving me too long. Loving me too long. Been a long, long time since I felt you were mine. Long, long time before the dawn. Been a long, long time since I've sipped your sweet wine. A long, long time coming home. Bring it better now. Bring it better now. Hold me better now. I've been loving you too long. Bring it better now. Hold me better now. Kiss me sweeter now. Loving you too long. Been a long, long time since I walked down this line. A long, long time to bring it home. Been a long, long time since I felt you were mine. A long, long time before the dawn. Bring it better now. Bring it better now. Hold me better now. Loving you too long. Loving you too long. Loving you much too long. Thank you. My music comes straight from my heart. It's pure. I thank you so much for sharing it with me. What time is it? How are we? 5 what? Oh, I'm 8 minutes late. I'll do one more song just to put a cap on it, and I thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Remember, hats.
Where's the basket? We want to put some.
What, darling?
We got a basket.
Come close. I won't bite. Come into my palace and the spider to the fly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have a song that I wrote. I love you both. Be well. Lorraine, I hope he knows what a woman he has. I'm sure he does. Ti amo, ti amo. She's a fantastic watercolorist. She might be the best watercolorist in Rhode Island, truly. Lorraine Bromley, look up her work. Sensational. I'm proud to say she was a student of mine. I have the most appropriate song, I think, to finish up. I don't mind telling you this weather is getting to my voice a little bit. It's a little heavy out here, right? I'm looking for one song in particular. I had a friend with a son. His name was Alexander. And he had the nickname Xander. And one day he invited me, I was visiting, and he said, Angelo, come and look at my fish. This is my fish. And I love this story because it's so common amongst people. And he said, this is my fish. I forget the fish's name. And he said he's been sleeping. The fish has been sleeping. And I looked in the water, and there was this pathetic looking thing on its side with one eye looking to infinity, floating, lifeless on the top of the water. So I had to tell him that the fish was not sleeping. The fish had gone waiting for the porcelain god, as we used to say, for the big flush. How many people have had goldfish with this experience? Pretty common, right? And so we get into the existential discussion about how long do fish last? And of course, it went from how long do fish last to how long do kitties last and puppies. And before you know it, we've arrived at the point of, well, how long do people last? Or how long does all of this last? In some way. Not that I was going to give the kid all the worst news in the world in one minor conversation, but when I got home that night on television, there were all these angry people that always seemed to live there, all like this, in another country that we had offended. I salute him on his high revs. there was another group of people on television, the 12 o'clock news, that were protesting something, and they were all in full force, angry in some small country we had offended somewhere. And this stuff kind of melted together in my head. And when I woke up in the morning, I had this song ready for me. You know what? Let me change guitars. Is that on too? Both of them are on, I think. Yeah, this one's ready. The song is called How Long? There is something I must tell you now. Hey, there's something I must say. In the vivid hours, just before the dawn, as you wait before the day, in this wicked world of tragedy, with a sky that's fallen free, as the second hand revolves around all time, is the Joker's views complete? And I ask you, how long, just how long? Can you tell me, how long, just how long? Can you hear me? How long must I wait before the dawn? How long, just how long? With our differences so defined, and our dream song ne'er deplete, can you carry off your thirsty grin, angry fistful to repeat? A distant bell cries out a toll. Soon enough you'll know the tune. Defended by an ancient smile, soon to cover up the moon. Ask you, how long, just how long? Can you tell me, how long, just how long? Hear me, how long must I wait before the dawn? How long? There is something I must tell you now. Hey, there's something I must say. In the vivid hours, just before the dawn, as you wait before the day, and I ask you, how much too long. How long, hear me, how long, seems we waited much too long. How long, just how long? Thank you for your hospitality, Papa Angelo. Have a good time. Beautiful day. Perfect day. Thank you so much.